Hi, Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 16th to the 30th, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Aries. November 16th to the 30th, 2021, Aries. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. And spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, goodness. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Now at the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. At our root, we have Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy coming forward. And we have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy. So if we have Sagittarius or Gemini within our natal chart, that's coming through very strongly at our root. These are also sister signs. So there's going to be energy that plays off each other really well. But we can also find that we get a bit frustrated with it in a way that nobody else makes us frustrated. Then in our inner self, we have the Nine of Swords. We're going to be too much in our own heads. The Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. If we have Taurus within our natal chart or are born on the cusp with Taurus, this is coming through very powerfully. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles, Earth sign energy coming through once again, but also gift of prosperity, of bounty, of success. And we're going to see ourselves taking it in a kind of roundabout way, not in the, kind of blunt, assertive, I'm taking my wealth and I'm moving forward way that we would like it to be. There's going to be a roundabout way of stepping into wealth and stepping into the next phase of our existence. Excuse me. We have our emotional selves. We have the Four of Wands, which is prosperity and success. Now we have, with the Hierophant, we have the major arcana marriage card, and we have the minor arcana marriage card. This is going to be a time where we find ourselves committing to something, where we find ourselves falling in love with something. There is the Sleepers, so a part of us is awakening, and we're going to see a apprehension because of a battle that we've fought before, some chaos that we've seen before coming forward. So that's going to be something that we really need to address and look at. We have the Five of Pentacles, which this says emotional withdrawal. The Five of Pentacles is an attitude of poverty, right? It's that poverty mindset that comes up. That can be because we might have had money troubles growing up. We might have been with a partner who had money troubles or always yelled at us about money. And so we have this strained relationship around money that's coming up during this time. And then we have the Page of Wands, which is us. We are becoming a student. We are also embracing our innocence, embracing the way that we want to move forward within our lives. We're looking at our prosperity. I would say that the money issues that we are going to be facing are things from our childhood coming up. Now, it can be that we didn't have enough money, or we had too much money, or a lot of money. One could argue there's never too much money, and that kind of warped the view of things. And that's going to be issues that come up during this time period that we have to face, because there's some sort of emotional chaos that is linked to this. The repeat of the number 5 is a freedom number, but it also is a number that says we're going to be facing things, and they're not going to be taking as long as we thought they were, but they're going to need us to embrace new eyes, new ways of looking at things. Let's look at our energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. We have the Prince of Swords. This is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But this is an energy of, I have to go, I have to move, I have to change things right now. We could love to be in the middle of movers and shakers and people who are just going after it. But we have to make sure that they have a well thought out plan and a well thought out idea. Because there is going to be this sense of impetuousness, there's going to be this sense of recklessness, and there is going to be a devil may care attitude as they charge forward, because it just feels like as long as I'm going, as long as I'm doing, as long as I'm charging, I'm in the right, because I'm never letting grass grow under my feet. I'm never slowing down enough to really look at the consequences of my actions, or look at the consequences of what I'm doing. So just be mindful of this. We could have a Knight of Wands energy in our lives, a Prince of, not a Knight of Wands, a Prince of Swords energy in our lives here, Aries, where it's just a person who leaves behind damage, who leaves behind chaos and doubts and fears, because they're so busy moving forward that they don't pick up the pieces and they don't care about the pieces, which can be really upsetting for us. Our chakra energy, this could be an X, okay? For somebody who is watching, this could be an X that swoops in, comes in kind of like a bat out of hell, excuse my language, but just comes in, turns everything on its head, and then leaves again and just is gone. And it could be an ex, it could be somebody that we're dealing with who is just like that. And this could be the emotional chaos that always makes us feel like we're not secure, like we don't have that stability that we want. And I don't know how this person is coming into our lives, but this person is coming into our lives, and it could just be upsetting. So just be mindful of this during this time. And then, we already did this. Let's look at our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. This is divine wisdom. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. This is wisdom coming to us, raining down on us, inspiring us, helping us to move forward, helping us to really obtain what it is that we want. And this is a time where we're going to find ourselves looking at things so differently. Now, we're going to be talking about the astrological aspect of this time frame, as well as what the tarot provides. So on the 16th of November, the start of this time frame, we have the Sun sextile Pluto, which brings with it a magnetic attraction to what we need, and we can find ourselves being astoundingly charming. Like, this is the day that if we want to ask for a promotion or a raise, or or go after that promotion or that job interview, this is the day for it, because we can really find that we're charming, we are driven, and we are determined, and we can feel almost unstoppable. So we can utilize that energy for our advantage to start something, to move forward in a way that we've been putting off. On the 17th of November, Mars is opposite Uranus. So whenever Mars comes up, Aries, we are ruled by Mars. So when Mars comes up, this day is going to be a bit more intense for us. Now, with Mars opposite Uranus, it brings exciting and unexpected energy that has us inclined towards risk-taking and going after what we want. We can also be rebellious, so we have to be mindful of this. We can be, just kind of the sense of that devil may care attitude of, I'm going after it, I have to, I can't I can't wait. So Spirit's saying here, just be mindful of this. And because we are ruled by Mars, this energy is going to impact us more than it may impact others. On the 18th of November, Mercury is trine Neptune, which brings an alluring energy with it that makes us more attractive and almost like sirens, almost like calling people into us, not to drown them, to have them crash their ships, which is what a siren did, but to call them to us and to attract the people that we need, or we feel that we need in our lives. So we have to be mindful about this, because we can be attracting people who elevate us forward in our spiritual journey, but they might not actually be people that we want to hang around in our lives. Our imagination is more on point during this day on the 18th of November, and we can start to bring to life what we've been dreaming of, what we've always wanted. On the 19th of November, Venus is trine Uranus, which brings an energy of wanting to feel free, unique, and social. Now, the 19th of November is also a full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, and there will be a separate video on that. On the 20th of November, Mercury is squared Jupiter, which brings with it a clear and open mind, but also a lack of discipline. So we have to be mindful, because we're going to see things really clearly, and then think, I can do it tomorrow. Like, it's not a big deal. So it can make us lose utilizing all these talents that come forward on the 20th of November. On the 21st of November, Mercury is sextile Pluto, which is a serious time for us. We can discover a lot if we slow down and look. But the problem is that we're not going to want to slow down. We're not going to want to follow our intuition. We're just going to want to go for it. On the 27th of November is the third quarter moon in Virgo. So that's going to be a powerful grounding energy. It's also going to tell us that we are enough and to look into ourselves for what it is that we truly want. On the 28th of November, the Sun is conjunct Mercury, which is the best time for communication and for important ideas to come to the surface, things that have been bubbling within us to really come forward. We can have so much that we're thinking about, that we want to do, that we can forget to listen to everybody else. And it can make it a great day for us achieving, but not for group work at all, not for this compromise and coming together of things. On the 29th of November, Mars is trine Neptune, there we go. Mars is trine Neptune, which again is going to be more powerful for us because we are ruled by Mars. And this makes us suave, sexy, and creative. We are also passionate and want to fight for what we believe in and fight for the underdog. We can really be motivated to help people and ourselves because we are spiritually courageous on this day. On the 30th of November, Mercury is sextile Saturn. Well, there's a lot going on the 30th of November. First, we have Mercury sextile Saturn, which brings focus and the ability to see the bigger picture. We can be single-minded on this day and only look at our goals and be a bit obsessed with what we want to achieve. This is going to be very interesting because also on the 30th of November, we have Venus sextile Neptune, which makes us passionate, romantic, and sensual. Our relationships become very important to us, and we need to be around like-minded people, and also we need to be highly creative on this day. So we have a day on the 30th of November, we're not done with it yet, with Mercury sextile Saturn, which has us very focused on our abilities to see the big picture, to get the job done. We're very single-minded, but yet still we're going to be social because of the Venus sextile Neptune aspect of it. We're going to be social, we're going to be passionate, we're going to be romantic, and we can almost feel like they're pulling us in two very separate directions. Now, also on the 30th of November, we have the Sun sextile Saturn, which brings a sense of identity through leadership and finding and embracing our voice. So we can almost forget to utilize the Venus sextile Neptune aspect of this day with the control and the power and the elevation of self that the Sun sextile Saturn will bring to our career with Mercury sextile Saturn coming into play. Also on this day, Mercury sextile Saturn. So we have to be mindful of this. But we can also find our leadership abilities in Venus sextile Neptune if we find that love and passion and the home and that is where we want to focus on. So whatever it is that we're focusing on, whatever it is, like it could be career or it can be relationships and home, we're going to find that the Sun sextile Saturn amplifies that aspect of ourselves. Either Mercury sextile Saturn, which is for business and, looking at the bigger picture and going after our goals, or Venus sextile Neptune, which is passion and romance and sensuality and our relationships being really important to us. So on this day, we can find that we focus on one or another, or we find that we're just pulled in two directions and we don't know where to stand. We can find that we overbook on this day. We can find that, we missed dinner, but we really wanted to get to dinner, and we can just feel pulled really in two very distinct directions. And we have to be aware of that, because if we're aware on it, we can counteract it, right? Okay, so let's look at the tarot during this time. We have temperance, we have balance coming in, we have the sense of the saber-toothed tiger and the mouse, the sense of these two contrasts that are astoundingly powerful in their own right. And we're going to find a balance to the outward show of strength and the inward show of strength that we're going to be utilizing during this time. It brings us to the lovers. It brings us to embracing love and passion and what we desire. It brings us to looking at not what we want things to be, but what they truly are and how they truly are around us. And it brings us to a place of saying, is this what I want? Is this what I need? Is this the way that I want to move forward, or isn't it? What is it that I want here? What is it that I'm being drawn to? And we really have to be honest with ourselves during this time, because we can make things, and we make things in our heads more than they are, or sometimes less than they are. And we'll get disappointed. But this is going to be making things more than they are, putting the dream of something in the place of the reality of something. So being aware of that is going to be very powerful during this time. And also being aware of the balancing energy of us, the way that we need to move forward, the way that we want to move forward, what it is that we're desiring here. Our inward selves are really looking for a career to advance, but we're also going to find that God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is opening up doors for us, is showing us new ways forward, new ideas, new innovations. And this is going to be a time where we need to look at the seeds that we're planting, at the ideas that we're cultivating and the way that we're moving forward. Stagnation during this time is going to be a bit of an enemy. So just be mindful of that, and be mindful of the days or the times where we're like, oh, I'm just overwhelmed. I don't want to do this. Sometimes we are overwhelmed and we need to give ourselves a break, but we have to look at the pattern of things. Am I becoming too overwhelmed that I'm actually letting opportunities slip through my finger because it's just become too much? Do I need to talk to somebody? Do I need to start meditating on what it is that I really want? Do I need to do deeper soul searching to say, what is it that I really want? What is it that I'm going after? Because there's a sense of our traditions being really intrinsically important to us. And it's our traditions. It's not the traditions that we're born into. It's not the traditions of anybody else. It's the traditions of our heart and our souls and our passions and our desires. And the sense of responsibility and the sense of moving towards something greater, something more, something that opens up a door that we hadn't seen before. But we have a lot of worries, doubts, and fears. It's almost like, if I open this door, what will happen? If I embrace this, will I lose myself, or will I find myself? Do I even know where it is that I want to stand, or where it is that I can stand? The Nine of Swords comes in and things become chaotic, things become intense, things become a lot in our heads, but we can find it hard to rest, hard to calm down, hard to center ourselves. But we're fighting for something, and we're looking at something that is going to be very celebratorial to us. It's going to be something that we love, something that has called to our hearts for so long. And that could be why we're so afraid of it, because as we find this balance, and as we have the balance of the sacred feminine and the sacred masculine coming forward within us, there's a lot to fear. What if I mess it up? What if I don't move forward the way that I wanted to? What if? But there's a part of us emotionally that is awakening. There's a part of us that is rising to a greater understanding and a greater power, that has been put to sleep and has been slumbering, but now is finding its voice and its footing as we awaken it, as we say, I need you. And in the story of the sleepers in Welsh mythology, because these are the Llewellyn tarot deck and they're all based off of Welsh mythology, you have the sleepers being the people of King Arthur's court that were put to sleep to be able to rise up and defend Wales when she needs them. And this is the part of us that has been sleeping until we need it so much that it awakens. until we start to find our passion and our determination and our focus and say, this is where I need to be. This is where I want to be. This is what's important for me. And there's a battle about it as we're facing it, as we're looking at it, as we're seeing ourselves differently. There's a battle that comes in. And there's a sense of, no, you can't. And I'm really seeing this as a past life thing. This could be a generational thing where our generations have been fighting this within our family line. It's like, yes, I can be successful. And then something happens and we get smacked back down. And it's like, well, how do I get to be successful? How do I get to be empowered? How do I get to, move forward this way? But this is also going to be something where it has to do with our past lives, where it has to do with things that we have faced before. And we can find ourselves more timid around these areas than we thought we would ever be, than we thought we needed to be. And what we're going to see here is that this chaos kind of moves us forward and has us looking at things in a very different way. The Five of Pentacles comes in, and it has that poverty mentality because we're taking this energy here that is slumbering within our hearts, okay? No, actually, it's not slumbering within our hearts. It's this energy that as we start to awaken, we look at it and say, what the heck are you doing here? You're not welcome. It's kind of like finding somebody in your house that's just plopped on your couch eating chips, and you're like, excuse you, go away. And that's going to be what happens with the Five of Wands. It's like, no, you're no longer welcome. I'm not putting up with this. I am moving towards something greater and something more. And that's where the poverty mentality comes in. That's where oh no, I just have to deal with this. Oh no, this is just, kind of that adage in Christianity, this is my cross to bear. And I just have to bear it and bear it and bear it and grit my teeth and bear it more. And Spirit's saying, why? Why? There's nothing against the adage of our crosses to bear. There's nothing against the idea that life is about suffering. Because in Buddhism, they say life is about suffering because life brings with it, from the moment we were born, suffering and hurts and pains and, screaming because we're hungry and screaming because we're too cold and screaming because we're too hot and diaper rash and, all these things that happen when we're born and all these ways that the body suffers that it hadn't suffered before. And as we grow, it changes. It becomes more, it becomes less because we don't have that dependency on somebody else as much. But it becomes different, and it's always changing with us as we change into the next phase and into the next phase of our lives and existence. With the Five of Pentacles, there's almost this sense of, if I suffer, I'm earning what I need to earn in order to get to where I need to be. And Spirit is saying suffering is a natural course of existence. It will happen whether we want it to or not. Do not put the weight of it on your shoulders and say, this is what I need. This is exactly what I deserve, because Spirit's saying here it's not. And this is a time where we're breaking out of a lot of the suffering that we have written into our chart that has been a part of us for so long that it feels like an old friend. And it moves us to the Page of Wands. It moves us to actually being reborn within ourselves, reborn to this place of passion and insight and ideas, this place of innocence, this place of there's more here for me than I ever realized, and I can embrace this, I can move forward this way, I can go after this. The Page of Wands is also our passion, our determination, our focus. The Page of Wands is our inner child really coming out in the public arena. And this might not be where we want our inner child to come out because it brings with it a level of vulnerability. But this is where we start to shine. This is where we start to look at things and say, it's always been done that way. Why? I've always done it like this, or it's always been done like this. Isn't it time for it to change? And we start to embrace a new dawn. We start to embrace a new way forward. We start to embrace a new passion and a new insight and a new sense of self. But we're also stopping, handing this down to the next generation, to the next incarnation of ourselves. We're stopping the cycle and we're saying, I get to shine. I get to shine, and I get to embrace the brilliance that is me. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, which is the King of Pentacles. We can become so focused on our goals, so focused on achieving things in the waking world, that we forget about achieving things for ourselves and what we truly want. Because it's going to kind of be, if I can have everything that everybody else is jealous about, then I can be happy, I can be successful, I will be prosperous. And what Spirit is saying here is that it's not about anybody else's story. It's not about them being wowed by you or liking you or understanding you. It's about you looking at your journey and showing up and being powerful and accepting of yourself and coming forward with love and kindness and walking gently on this earth and kindly on this earth. We're going to be very impressed by people who have a lot, who have achieved a lot, who can sit there and speak with this, kind of absolute determination that their way is the right way. But their way was the right way for them. It doesn't necessarily mean it is going to be the right way for us. It moves us to our subconscious chakra message, which is personal power, the solar plexus chakra. We are embracing our personal power. We are finding our personal power, our determination, our focus, our brilliance, and we are utilizing it to the highest. Our subconscious rooted message is the Wheel of Fortune. We feel like we're on a roller coaster ride. We have these highs, these lows, these lefts, these rights. It's like, oh my goodness, where does it stop? But we're entering into a new season, a new embrace of being, a new understanding of where it is that we need to be and where it is that we want to be. Things are changing, and we're entering a new time of self, a new identification, and a new embrace of self. Our subconscious inner self is the King of Pentacles. If we're not concerned with the prosperity and the opinion of everybody else, we take this gift that divinity is giving us, and we take it so seriously that we plant our success within us. We're clothed in that success, in that bounty, in that harvest of how we're supposed to be moving forward, of what it is that we desire, of the bigger picture, of looking at things in a much different light. And that becomes a game changer. It moves us to our subconscious emotional self, which is the Three of Swords. These are the wounds that we carry from living. These are the things that make us want to turn away instead of facing what we want, what we desire, where it is that we need to be. This is a time where we need to turn around. We need to see the sword that stabbed us in the back and the ones that keep us caged. And we need to look at where it is that we want to be within ourselves and say, I'm here. I get to show up. I get to be powerful. And though these scars will always be with us, it's kind of like having an old scar and it hurting when it starts to rain or when it gets too cold. As we look at these scars, as they heal, they're not the gaping wound. They're the reminder of pain, reminder of what our bodies and souls have been through. But they don't cripple us anymore. They don't hold us back to hide away instead of awakening and embracing new job opportunities, new passions, new insights, new ideas, moving house, adventures, saying the whole world is opening to me and I get to embrace that world. It moves us then to our subconscious public arena self, and it's temperance, it's harmony, it's balance, and it's embracing that harmony and balance within us to move forward to something greater, to something more, to something we didn't think was on the table anymore or ever. Now we start to find the balance within us. Now we start to find the beauty within us, and that becomes the game changer. All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power and the prosperity that is coming forward during this time. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries.